I'm back to Tell the Truth channel. Please like, share my content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. All right, I got a message from the Father. Now, this is what the Father does. He speaks to everybody and he sees what's going on in everybody's houses, the poor, the middle class, the rich. Now, he has spoke on the poor, he has spoke on the middle class. Now he wants to speak on the rich. No disrespectful to the rich, none whatsoever. But this is what the Lord wants me to speak on. So this is what I'm here to do. Now, I'm just here to give the messages, and I am, like I said, I'm here to give out the advice and the messages that the Lord give me. Now, it's just an, advice that I'm giving to the rich that the Lord want me to give, because the Lord can see in everybody's household. He can see in the poor household. He can see in the middle class household. He can see in the rich household. He sees everything. This is what he want me to tell y'all. He can see everything. So now he's looking inside the rich houses. He's looking inside y'all houses. And this is what he want me to speak on. Now, the Lord understands that y'all got the money and all that. He understands that because he gave it to y'all. That's the only way y'all got it. It's by him giving it to you. And other ways that y'all got it that the Lord didn't approve of, but y'all got it. And that's between you and God that y'all got to deal with at the end of the day. Whatever which way y'all got y'all money, you got to deal with the Lord at the end of the day. But this is not what the conversation is about. It's about how you raise your children. This is what it's about. This is what the Lord want me to speak on. Now, if y'all got any questions that y'all want to ask, that things don't make sense to y'all or make sense to y'all, and y'all don't like what's finna come out, then you go to the Lord. Go to the Lord, because I'm speaking for the Lord. That's what I'm doing. I'm speaking what the Lord telling me to speak. Okay, so y'all might sit up there and say, no, that's not true. Yeah, that's true. And all that. But y'all know everything the Lord says is true. Y'all know, because the Lord sees all and he knows all. So this is what he want me to speak on. Now, y'all rich people go out here and y'all look down on people that ain't got it like y'all got it. This is what the Lord's saying. Y'all look down. Even though y'all call y'allself doing a little bit of something and helping the people that struggle, y'all still look down on them. And the Lord don't like that. He don't like that. Because you shouldn't look down on nobody. It don't matter if the person poor, middle class, or up there with y'all. It shouldn't matter. You should treat everybody equal, the same. Now, he ain't saying go and kick it with them, because if you don't want to do that, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine too. That's y'all prerogative. Like Bobby Brown said. Like Bobby Brown said, it's y'all prerogative. So, I'm calling out. I'm talking about the riches now. I'm talking about y'all. Like Bobby Brown said, for the riches, it's y'all prerogative. Okay? So, that's what I'm saying. And what God is saying here, that y'all, I'm going to say it like this, because this is me speaking. I'm speaking in the way of the Lord. The Lord is speaking to me, but I'm speaking it in my way. Y'all got y'all butts up on the cloud, flying real high. Need to come down a little bit, okay? You need to come down a little bit. All right in there? You need to come down a little bit here. Okay? So, what he's saying, the way y'all get caught up is because y'all judge the people for y'all judge the people for what y'all see on the outside of the person. But y'all don't judge the people for who they are and that's inside of the person. Because y'all don't get a chance to spend time with the outside of people. Instead of looking at them. Y'all get a chance to spend time with the outside of the people, but y'all don't get a chance to spend time with the inside of the people, or how they is inside of them. Because y'all already judged them for where they look and how they carry themselves. And that ain't what the Lord want from nobody, to look at people like that. And that's what y'all do. Y'all judge the appearance. Y'all judge the money wise. Y'all judge their character. All of this y'all judge. And that's the wrong thing to do. Because when you judging the person, their character, instead of judging what's inside of their soul, you miss out on good things with these people. You miss out good things. Now, I'm not saying for the children's, because the children's see through God's eyes. The parents that have once children's, they grow up and when they're young, they see through God's eyes because they don't judge the people for their appearances. They judge for what they see in the inside of a person. But as they grow older, as they get grown, they start judging from the outside instead of looking in the inside, because their eyes are closed and they're not open. And they don't want to see the truth, because they forget that they was once children's themselves. So as they get older, they think they know more now because they are grown, but they understanding that their parents have taught them to respect people regardless. Now, I'm not going to say all parents taught people rich to respect, but I know some of the parents have taught their children to respect people regardless of they poor, middle class, or up there with them. It don't matter. So what I'm saying, that parents that done grown up, that once was children's, have grown up to be adults, need to give their children's breathers. Give your children's breather. Let them grow up. Let them make their own mistakes, because you made yours. Let them make theirs. They should know the difference between the good and the bad. If you taught them right and you taught them according to God's words and to God's laws, they got that in the back of their head, and they going to live with that in the back of their head. So when you pass off this earth, your child is going to raise their child into according to God's laws, because you raised your child into according to God's laws. So they're going to teach their child how to respect and honor people, regardless if they poor, middle class, or rich, just like y'all. It don't matter. But see, you got some parents out here that's so closed-minded, they just can't open their mind, which they was children's once before. They close their minds so much that they don't want to open their minds, that they trying to make their kids close their minds. So if their children close their minds, then how they going to sit there and teach their children how to learn how to be respectable to other people, because they teaching their kids to be closed-minded, which they shouldn't. They should be teaching their children to be wiser and know how to treat people in accordance to God's laws. If you say that you are spiritual people have more class than church people, because I'm going to tell you something. Spiritual people ain't going to stop their children from living their lives, and they're not going to stop them from making the choices of what they want to do in their lives. They're not going to do that. Now, that's only that people that go to church think that their children should live according to their ways because they go to church. But you got to look at this. If you are really walking with God, it shouldn't be a judgment on nobody's life. If you are saying that you believe in God, you go to church, and you praying to the Lord, and you know the Lord accepts everybody regardless of who they are. He accepts them. He accepts spiritual people because spiritual people walk with God. He accepts church people because church people walk with God. The real ones that walks with God, that's going to not put a judgment on people, because the only person who can put a judgment on people is God. Man can't put judgment on nobody. Only God can do that. Only God can do that. So when y'all out here telling y'all children to turn y'all back on people, you turning your back on God if you claim that you walk with God. Because that's something God don't do. God don't turn his back on none of his people. He loves his children just the way they are, regardless of if they black, white, creed, or color. He loves his children. If they poor, middle class, or rich, he loves his children regardless. God loves us for who we are. And that's why he say, teach your children in accordance to his ways. And that's why he bring parents in the world to teach their children in accordance to his ways. But when y'all start closing y'all mind and start looking at people in different ways, y'all get what y'all get. So this is what I'm saying here. Y'all children, that these parents out here that teach their children to turn their back on people, They go out here, they looking for somebody like them. Okay? Now this is for the rich people. They looking for somebody like them. Then they go out there and thinking that they finding somebody like them, but you don't understand that it's people out here that wants to get up there where y'all at. And if they have to do what they got to do to get up there with y'all at, they're gonna do it. They don't care how they're gonna go back getting it. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. Because y'all opening up, y'all got y'all minds closed thinking that everybody out here that's poor just want what y'all got. But see, it ain't everybody out there that's just want what y'all got. Now, it's some people out here do want what y'all got. But everybody out here is not like that. And that's what comes with the parents is closed-minded that thinks that and teach their kids that. And then their kids get tied up with somebody that do want what they got. And only wants what they got. They don't want the children's. They don't want your children's. They want what your children's got. So if they have to dress up rich, if they have to take their last penny and they poor as Medusa, and they have to take their last penny to get what they want, and they see that most parents out here are closed-minded, they gonna do what they got to do to get what they want, to show these parents, yeah, I might be poor, but I can get your son, I can get your daughter, so it don't matter what you think. This is what the people are saying that's out here that knows that it's some parents out here closed-minded and don't even give the person a chance to see who they are. Them the ones that prove to the closed-minded parents that they can get your child regardless. It don't matter what you think. They can get your child if they want to get them. So they prove it to y'all. And what they do, they dress up like they y'all. And y'all children get excited because they see what they like. Never know that this person is struggling, ain't got a penny and a pot to piss in to throw out the window. That's the truth. But they make it some kind of way to dress up rich to show y'all that I can get your child. I can get your child. I don't care what your child got. I don't care what you got. I can get your child because you closed-minded. And I'm going to show you I can get your child. So they dress up all willy-nilly to show y'all they can get y'all children's. And your children's, they fall in love with the person that ain't got a pot to piss in and throw out the window. Oh, yeah, they do. And then when they do that, they say to themselves, oh, I'm going to get this person. I'm going to have a baby by this person. And this person ain't going nowhere because that's how the rich is. Once you get locked, once somebody lock you down with a baby, they know you ain't walking away. They know it. They know the rich want you to raise that baby. Regardless, they want you to raise that baby. So, some people out here that's struggling knows that. So they get with the rich, they dress up like I say, get your children, and then make sure they get pregnant by your children so your children can't go nowhere. So that means that whatever you get, rich people, your child that deal with that person that got a pot to piss in to throw out the window, gonna get some of that money. And they know that. So that's why they grab on to y'all children's, because y'all so close-minded, putting everybody down for the way people look and the way people act, instead of looking in the heart of a person and seeing the truth of a heart of a person. Because sometimes parents, you got to look at this. Sometimes your kids have more common sense than y'all do. And you got to look at this too. Sometimes God give your children's gift to know the difference between the good and the bad. And they know what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. And they know what they're going to go after and they know what they're not going to go after. And you better believe parents that's closed-minded, that don't, think you know everything, that don't want to listen to your children's. You got to look at this. Your children's do background work on people before they get with them. Some of them do it. Some of them do background checks on people. Just because that person done walked up in their life, they don't know if that person got a pot to piss in and throw out the window. They don't know what that person got. Just because that person look like they got it and don't got it, they still gonna check it out. Let me see what that person got. Because sometimes your children have already been hurt so many times, they not finna fall back in that same trap. They not. So they do their research, they self, on the people that comes in their way. They do their research. And when they do their research, they know what they see. They know, no, this person ain't got a pot to piss in and throw out the window. I'm not finna go that way. Now, you gotta look at this, parents. When you see that your child know that somebody don't have as much as you have, and they trying to work their way up there, and the parents and the child know that these people are working their way up there. The child know, because the child have did investigation on the person, on whoever that they trying to be with. They have did investigation, and they seeing that this person is moving their way up there to get where y'all is at. But you have closed-minded parents that can't accept it. They could be jealous. I'm just calling out what the Lord telling me to say. Could be jealous. They just don't want their children to be happy. Even though they know that their child see what they see. But the closed-minded parents want to stop that. And that's not right. You have to let your child you have to let your child grow. Because when God give us children, and we have the parents, and he tell us to raise our children, then he say, let your children fly. Let them live their life. Let them go out in the trenches and learn about the world out there. He sends them out there to the wolves. Okay? That's what he wants you to do. Send your child out there to the wolves and let them make their decision on which way they want to live their lives. Because that's what he give us parents for. To grow us up, teach us responsibility, and then let us go. Let us go. Let us live our lives out there in the world. Let us fly. Let the Father say, like he said, send your children out there to the wolves and let them learn. Because that's the only way they're going to know between the right and the wrong. What don't kill your children is going to make them stronger. And that's what y'all got to get in y'all head, because what didn't kill y'all made y'all stronger. Y'all made mistakes in y'all life. And don't try to act like it, closed-minded parents, because you did. You made mistakes in your life that you hide from your children, that you don't want them to know, which you should let them know. Instead of hiding from them, tell them the truth that you did make mistakes in your lives. And that you want them not make the same of your life. You don't want them to make the same mistakes what you made in your life. So you teach them that. So they can go out there and make it better for their life. So even if they take what you went through in your life and they turn it around and do it better for their life, you should pat yourself on the back and say, I did good raising my child. I did real good raising my child. Because my child took my words and they took it their way, but they made it out of, they did it for themselves. Because some children do take their parents' ways and some children don't. Because they know that some parents have so much mind closed that why should I listen to that? Open up your mind, Mom, Dad. Open up your mind. That is not what I see. That is what you see. So I'm going to go my way. And then when you do that, when they do that, and then they don't want to bring the person around you. You know why? Because they know that the person that they choose, they know how that person is. And they don't want to bring them around closed-minded parents. They don't want to bring them around that because they know if they bring it around that, the closed-minded parents going to say stupid, disrespectful things, so they keep them away. They don't want them around it because they know they got something good, and they not finna let the closed-minded parents shut it down. They not. So they move away and they build a family with that person. And they be happy, and they don't miss the parents, and they don't miss the ancestors. I mean, the angels, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins. None of them. They don't miss y'all because they don't build the family with the one that they know that's gonna be right with them. Because they expect for y'all to teach them how to be responsible, not to teach them to be closed-minded. This is not what you're supposed to teach your children. You're supposed to teach your children to love people for who they are. Not what you see on the outside, what you see in the inside of the person. That's what God wants you to teach your children, to love them for who they is and love everybody else for who they are. Not to push them away from people. Because that's the way you want to live your life, then you live your life, closed-minded parents. But the children, don't make them have their mind closed because yours closed. Let them live their lives. Let them grow up. Let them know how to feel. Let them know how to learn to fall and then build themselves back up. Because that's the only way they're going to be able to survive in this world. So when you die, they still going to be here. And they're going to have to make it without you being here with them. And you got to let them go, and you got to let them fly, and let them do it for themselves. This is what God wanted me to speak, because God is speaking to me to say this to y'all rich people. Stop judging people for who they are, and love people for what you see inside of them. Before you judge somebody, get to know the person first. Get to know the person. Sit down with the person. Talk to the person and see where the person's soul at before you make a judgment on it. If you think that something you don't see is right, you have sat down with that person, you have talked to that person, and you have felt that person's soul, and you know for a fact. And don't sit there and tell your child when you know that that person is a good person and you don't like it because the person is good and you jealous and you telling your child that's not the one for you, and you know that's the one for their child, for them, and then you make them go out there and get somebody that you know that's not good for them, and then they end up in a miserable life, and it's your fault. It's your fault, not your child's fault. It's your fault because you jumped into their lives and corrupt their lives and made them go the way that you wanted to go because you messed up your life. You want them to mess up their life, and that's not the way it's supposed to go. Let your child live their life just like you lived your life. So you made mistakes in your life, cool. You learn from it. Now let your child live their life and make mistakes and let them learn from it, because that's the only way they're going to grow, and they're going to teach their children how to grow. That's how you do that. And this is what the Lord want me to speak on, rich people. Let it go. Let your child grow and let them live their life. This is what God is saying. Let them live their life like you lived your life. Let them live their life. Because if you call yourself something, I work for the Lord. I believe in God. I follow God's ways. Yeah, then prove it. Prove to your children that you follow God's ways, that you don't judge nobody for who they is and what you see about them. And because of their religion. Because their religion is what God gave them. God ain't only just gave people to go to church. He told people to go out there and do his will, even though they not in the church. That's what y'all rich people got to get on y'all head. God put everybody out here to do his will, his way. Regardless if you in the church or not in the church, this is what God does. So if you call yourself walking with God, then prove it to God that you walk with God and you don't put a judgment on it. Because the only person put a judgment on it is God. And this is what he want me to speak on. Thank y'all for listening to me. Jesus love you, Father love you, the Holy Ghost, the angels, the ancestors, and I love y'all. And I will be back to talk to y'all again soon. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day.